Christian Jan Bia Darnedo.
Ako po si Nel Ariana Alayan.
My name is Christine T. Alipio.
Ako si Elena Bacani. Mary Jo Elaine T. Basilio.
Ako si Jalaika.
Ako nga pala si Carme Carlos.
Ako si Daniela Caser.
I am Bridget V. Cruz.
I'm the Proza.
Ako si David Rico Dante.
I'm Maran Alexis S. Dondo.
Ang Bataan ay matatagpuan sa pinakamalaking isla sa Pilipinas, ang Luzon. Matatagpuan ang probinsya na ito sa parte ng Central Luzon. Pag tinignan sa mapa, mapapansin natin sa bandang east ang Manila Bay na tila ba ito'y enclosed at well-sheltered. Ang Manila Bay ay konektado sa China Sea na matatagpuan sa west naman. Ang outlet na ito ay ang naghihiwalay sa Bataan mula sa Cavite na sa bandang south ng probinsya.
The first town from Bataan is Dinalupihan. It is the first-class municipality of Bataan. The place got so famous for its fighting spirit that it came to be known as Dinalupigan, which means not conquered. Thus, the town with fighting heart is now known as Dinalupihan. The mayor and the vice mayor of Dinalupihan are Mayor Maria Angela Garcia and Vice Mayor Renato Matawaran. Dinalupihan is also known to be the hometown of Gary David and Chito Jaime, a PBA multi-awarded players, and Jackie Rice, who is the ultimate survivor of Starstruck. Dinalupihan is also known for its Research Park, Sports Complex, Track and Field Oval, and the Layat Junction War Memorial. Also, the St. John the Baptist Church, which serves as a tourist spot of the town. Dinalupihan specializes in the manufacture of salami, food processing, and tinapa. The town also has agricultural products like palay, sugarcane, fruit crops, and food.
Halina't pag-usapan ng Hermosa Bataan. Alam niyo ba na ang salitang Hermosa ay nangangahulugang maganda sa wika ng mga Kastila? Well, Hermosa is the feminine version of the word beautiful in Spanish, meaning that this word would refer to a feminine person or an object. Liana Hermosa, meaning beautiful plain of white flowers, was the original name of this town. Historically, the town was established in 1756 by the Dominican priest. At that time, it was known as Liana Hermosa and composed of Mabuco and Mabayan. It became an independent missionary center in 1756 with St. Peter de Verona as its patron saint. The town of Hermosa was very peaceful and progressive before World War II. The war broke out and their quiet routine was disturbed. In famous Death March, civilians of Hermosa raised the ire of the Japanese by secretly passing food through Filipinos and American soldiers. Antonio Joseph Inton as the mayor of the town and E.J.K. Malana as the mayor of the town. They are the most prominent politicians here in Hermosa, Bataan. St. Peter of Verona Parish Church is the most prominent and famous structure that is built here in Hermosa. One of the local products in Hermosa, Bataan is salted egg. It can actually be considered as their most popular product here in Hermosa.
Ang kasaysayan ng Orani ay nagsimula pa bago dumating ang mga Kastila sa Pilipinas. Orani is located northwest of Manila and accessible via Bataan Provincial Expressway. It is bounded on the north by Hermosa, south by Samal, west by Dinalupihan, and east by the Manila Bay. It has total land area of covering 29 barangays. About are used for agricultural or forest land, are forest reservation, and are reserved for the national park. The rest are classified as wetland. The mayor and vice mayor of Orani are Mayor Efren Pascual Jr. and Vice Mayor Emmanuel Roman. Ang kapistahan naman ng Orani ay pinagdiriwang tuwing ikalawang linggo ng Oktubre. Ito ay dinadayo din dahil kilala na nagmimilagro ang tinatawag na mahal na ina. Sagana ang Orani sa mga seafoods kaya naman maraming pumupunta dito at binabalik-balikan, lalo na ang mga sugpo at alimango. Pinagdiriwang din nila ito na kung tawagin ay Alimango Festival dahil ito ang pangunahing produkto o prinsipal na produkto na pinagmamalaki ng bayan ng Orani.
Alam niyo ba na ang Samal ay ang pangalawang pinakamatanda na munisipyo sa lalawigan ng Bataan? Wala pa ang Bataan ay mayroon ng Samal. Ang Samal ay nagmula sa salitang Samel na ang ibig sabihin ay isang uri ng sasakyang pantubig na mayroong gawang bubong na nagmula sa dahon ng nipa. Ang silong na ito ay nagsisilbing pamprotekta sa mga pasahero sa init at sa ulan. Ang sikat na tourist spot naman sa Samal ay ang St. Catherine of Siena Parish Church na itinatag noong April 20, 1641. Ayon sa kasaysayan, ang simbahang ito ay 2 beses na muling itinayo. Ang una ay noong inatake ito ng Dutch forces noong 1647. Ang pangalawa naman ay noong sinunog ito ng mga katipunero noong 1896. Alam niyo rin ba na ang Samal ay may iba't ibang uri ng mga negosyo? Dito unang ginawa ang Iceland sa ilalim ng pamumuno ni Joaquin Maria Joson, isang prominent businessman sa Bataan. Ang unang paggawa rin ng bakya sa Bataan ay nagsimula sa Samal. Ang Samal rin ang nag-iisang bayan sa Bataan na nagproproseso ng arrowroot flour na ginagawang araro, isang uri ng biskwit na kilala bilang pampasalubong.
Welcome to Abuhay. Did you know that Abuhay was coined from Abuhinaykai, which means digging the breeze of fire? Well, according to legend, a Spaniard came to this town and asking for its name. It so happened that his arrival coincided with a just extinguished big fire that burned a number of houses. The people were busy digging or shoveling, kinaykai in local dialect. So when the Spaniard asked for the name of the place, the residents replied Abuhinaykai, thinking that the Spaniard was asking what they were doing. From then on, this town was called that way and later on, Abuhay. Abuhay is a third-class municipality in the province of Bataan, with a land area of 79.72 square kilometer, constituting 5.81% of the 1,372.98 square kilometer total area of Bataan. The currently serving mayor of Abuhay is Mr. Liberato Santiago Jr. and the vice mayor is Ruben C. Taagre. Tomas Pinpin was the first printer in the country and he is from Abuhay. Abuhay has a lot of prominent places and I made a list that you can visit. We have St. Dominic Parish Church, Sibol Spring, Tomas Pinpin Monument, Maria Hanon Statue, and Pasuhulan Falls. Well, despite of mentioned beautiful places, what makes Abuhay even more beautiful is the people. Abuhay had a population of 42,984. I would say that Bataeño are beautiful inside and out. And if you are planning to visit Abuhay, it is my honor to be your tourist guide.
Welcome to Balanga, the capital of Bataan. Its name was derived from a kind of pot used for cooking or fetching water. This pot is made of special clay and it is locally known as banga or balanga. Ang bayang ito ay pinamumunuan ni Balanga City Mayor Francis Anthony Garcia na galing sa angkan ng mga kilalang politiko sa probinsya ng Bataan. Marami rin kilalang tao ang galing sa bayan ng Balanga, gaya ni na Dr. Gonzalo F. Austria na nag-serve bilang doktor ng mga dating presidente na sina Manuel Quezon, Sir Joyce Menya at Elpidio Quirino. Sa bayan din na ito nagmula si Patch Magtanong na naging Miss International at Janine Togonon who won in Miss Universe 2015 first runner-up. This town is also known for their tourist spots such as the Bataan World War II Museum and Balanga Nature and Wetland Park. Dito rin matatagpuan ang St. Joseph Cathedral na kadalasang dinadayon ng mga deboto at mananampalataya. And now, let's talk about food. This town produces a very tasty food known as tinapa. They have perfected the art and craft of tinapa as a way of prolonging the shelf life as well as enhancing the flavor by smoking the various kinds of fish they catch along their provincial shoreline.
Municipality of Pilar, Province of Bataan. Pilar is one of the oldest towns in Bataan. Pilar was previously part of Pampanga. Spaniards in the galleon landed in the city of Balanga and greeted by the natives. The place was named in the honor of the image of Our Lady of the Pilar, hence the town called Pilar. Pilar has a history of its own tainted with legends, tradition, glory, and death. On March 10, 1801, it was separated from Balanga by the Dominican priest under the spiritual administration of Virgin Nuestra Señora del Pilar. Since then, Pilar has produced great men, foremost among them was Don Pablo Roman, considered as the father of Bataan, and he is the former Bataan congressman, founded the first free trade zone in the Philippines, called Bataan Export Crossing Zone, which paved the way to construction of superhighway from Dinalpihan to Maribeles. Carmela Corro-Tiangco Corneo, also known for Mel Tiangco, is a Filipino television newscaster and television host, one of the news pillars of GMA Network, and multi-awarded news anchor. Tourist spot in Pilar, Bataan, Flaming Sword. Theirs is a gigantic sword of Pilar. It symbolizes the bravery of the Filipino and American soldier who faced the threat in our democracy. Mount Samat National Shrine, or the Dambana ng Kagitingan, is a famous historical shrine located near the summit of Mount Samat. The annual celebration of the Araw ng Kagitingan at Mount Samat is the most significant event in Bataan. It commemorates the heroism and bravery of Filipino and American soldiers who offered their lives to defend our freedom from invading Japanese forces during World War II.
Bagak, Bataan. Bagak is the biggest town in terms of land area in Bataan. Origin of the town's name: upon the arrival of Spaniards in the Philippines, some of them traveled along the seacoast looking for a better place to live in. Traveling without any fixed direction, they happened to pass by this place that is partly hidden between two sharp points extending to the sea. The Spaniards asked the Ita, who was traveling with them, as their guide, for the name of that place. The Ita answered that it's called Lumbak, meaning lying between two hills. As their ship was crossing this place, they sighted a flock of herons flying above them. When the Spaniards inquired about them to their guide, the Ita replied, "Yun po ay mga ibong tagak." And so from Lumbak and Tagak came Bak and Gak, and soon it became Bagak. Prominent people here in Bagak, Bataan. The first is Romel V. Del Rosario. He is a Filipino politician. He is currently serving as mayor of Bagak. The 5 famous tourist spots here in Bagak, Bataan. The first one is 0 kilometer death march marker, 2 Loop Beach, 3 Philippine-Japanese Friendship Tower, 4 Limutan Falls or Ambon-Ambon, 5 Las Casas Filipinas de Acuzar. The famous church here in Bagak is St. Catherine of Alexandria Parish. The famous product or food delicacies in Bagak, Bataan is cashew nuts and kakani.
At ngayon, tayo ay dadako naman sa bayan ng Orion. Isa ito sa mga coastal municipality ng probinsya ng Bataan. Maikling pagtatalakay lamang sa kasaysayan ng lugar. Sinasabing nagmula ang pangalan ng Orion sa salitang luad at Oryong na ang ibig sabihin ay putikan dahil maputik raw ang kalagayan ng bayan noon. Ang bayan ay may kabuuang land area na 6,540 hektarya at binubuo ng 23 barangays. Ilang kilalang personalidad rin na nagmula sa bayan gaya ni na Raymond Almazan, Kirby Raimundo at Eric Rodriguez na mga manlalaro sa PBA. Chief Warrant Officer 4 of US Navy Tony De Leon Pizarro, Chief Justice Cayetano Arellano, Judge Emilio Angeles Gancaño, multi-awarded visual artist Glenn Bautista at ang tanyag na manunulat na si Francisco Baltazar. Dinarayo naman ng mga turista ang Duha Trail sa General Rim Orion at ang San Miguel Archangel Church na mas kilala bilang Orion Church. Narito naman ang mga produktong kilala sa bayan kagaya ng tsokolating bilog, ginataang pong-gapong, ubod, taligugong isda, smoked soft bone bangus, okoy at bibingkang ube.
Let's talk about Limay. Limay is a first-class municipality in Bataan, Philippines, specifically at the southern-eastern section of Bataan Peninsula. During the time when the Spaniards ruled the country, some Spanish soldiers were taking a walk along the town shore and came across 5 people whose crop was said to be destroyed by a storm. One of the soldiers asked them for the name of the place, but not being able to understand what's being asked of them. These people thought they were asked how many people they, thus answering their native tongue, Limaay, which means 5. The Spaniards then thought that it was the answer to their question and went on knowing that it was Limay. The mayor of Limay is Mayor Nelson C. David and the vice mayor is Richie Jason D. David. One of the prominent person in Limay is Alfredo Jr., one of the founder of DCCD Engineering Corporation. Limay has many interesting attractions and historical landmarks including 1935 St. Francis of Assisi Parish Church or locally known as Parokya ni San Francisco ng Assisi, the DNA Arsenal, Mount Kayapo, Tikip, and Biga Waterfalls. Their food delicacies is Aling Chayong Special Cashew Products. The town of Morong. The town of Morong was originally known as Bayan Dati, which was within the jurisdiction of Nagbaluyong. Because the land to be cultivated is too small, the people decided to transfer to other places where there is big and wide land to cultivate. When the Spaniards came to the Philippines, some of them arrived at this place. Morong was established by the Franciscan friars in 1578. Folkloric tradition alludes the etymology of the name Moron to the Spaniards mishearing the phrase mga Moro umurong when they asked the local people the name of their village. The historical accuracy of this etymology is questionable. On June 10, 1955, Moron was renamed Morong by Bataan Representative Jose Arnagid by virtue of Republic Act No. 1249, which was enacted by Bataan sa Pambansa. The move was made because the municipality's former name was thought to mean immature or unintelligent person. Cynthia Estanilao, Filipino physician and politician, she is currently serving as mayor of Morong. One of the prominent people in Morong is Andrea Solangi, is a beauty queen and a model. She is currently one of the contestants in 2021 Miss World Philippines. One of the famous church in Morong is Our Lady of Pilar Church. The tourist spot in Morong, Bataan Tourism Center, Philippine Refugee Processing Center are currently the Bataan Technology Park, Oyster Island, Ambon-Ambon Falls, Kaikuran Falls, Hawikan Conservation Center, mountain trekking at Mount Silangan and Mount Kaikuran, Bataan Nuclear Plant. The food delicacy in Morong, Buko Pie, Sauteed Shrimp Paste.
The history of Mariveles. The name Mariveles is said to come from maraming dilis, which pertains to the abundant anchovies caught on the sea surrounding the municipality. Maraming dilis was shortened to Mara Dilis, and eventually Mariveles through the passage of time. The following are the famous people in Mariveles: Jocelyn Castañeda, Mayor; Kate Dayan Bautista, Beauty Queen 2018 Jewel Philippine Ambassador. This is the indigenous group of Mariveles. The Aita Magbukon are one of the least studied indigenous group in the Philippines. Up next is the tourist spot in Mariveles: Sisiman Bay, Ponoypoy Cove, Tarak Range, Natso Lagoon, San Miguel Lighthouse, Five Fingers, Talaga Beach, Kamaya Coast, Lucky Beach, and Agwawan, and also known for Batanes of West. Up next is the structure in Mariveles: St. Nicolas de Tolentino. These are the food delicacies of Mariveles: Rosalie's Bibingka, Bibing Kinitan, Dolores Special Pork Chicharon, Aling Kika's Food Products, Ruchas Puto and Kuchinta, Cashew Tarts.
Bataan is consistently among the provinces in the Philippines with high Human Development Index. In 2020, Bataan registered the third highest locally sourced income among all the provinces in the Philippines, as certified by the Department of Finance. In industries and manufacturing, we have the Pre-Port area of Bataan, formerly known as Bataan Economic Zone, and the Government Encina, which makes sniper and rifles. We also have Petron Bataan Refinery, Philippine National Oil Corporation, and Hermosa Ecozone. Agriculture and fisheries are also rich in Bataan, with about 44,000 hectares of land are utilized for farming. Bataan is frequently included in the top 10 poultry products producers in the country. Now, Bataan is in the process of accelerated growth in commercial sectors, with an average of 126 enterprises available per 10,000 people. Bataan is considered as the most enterprising province in Central Luzon.